Hello, ladies and gentlemen, once again for another edition of Take It to the Streets live show and the Doordash Revolution channel. You have the Doordash
Again for
Revolution
another
here,
edition.
as well as Hook Smash. We apologize for the inconvenience earlier. In my area here, we was having a little bit of internet problems with the Wi-Fi and all of that, and with the weather conditions that went on here today. Hey, Hook, go ahead, man, and speak to our viewers and just touch bases with them and everything. Go ahead, my brother.
Good afternoon, everybody. Hope everybody having a blessed day today and stuff. You was talking about weather. I want to get on and ask you something. About the weather. Um, how's the weather there? Because I know that Miss Francine, it hit Louisiana and it's going up there. And I know by the time it got to you, it's going to be like this a regular tropical depression type storm. But can you elaborate on some of the stuff that you experienced with the storm, Miss Francine, in your area, because you said you having some difficulties, with the weather, with the Wi-Fi and things like that. So I was just wondering, if you could elaborate on some of that to our viewers, give us a little weather update.
All right, I appreciate
Before
that.
you,
So,
I'm sorry, before you go, I'm glad you're okay. How's the family and everything? I'm glad they're all right too. That I see you right there. So I was just worried about that. I was worried about other people too, with the storm, and we was getting updates the whole time with the storm. So you was like the last tail, I think, of the storm. I don't know. I think Pedro, St. Louis here. So I gotta find out about what's going on with Pedro. But you right there before Pedro. So go ahead. Go ahead, sir. I'm sorry. I just wanted to
all
bring that
right,
out to you.
no problem. We thank you so much for your concerns for the community as a whole, not just certain states where certain content creators are, but you have vigilantly, reached out to everybody in the community when these things happen. We have TFT in the house. We also have Thomas Sisson. We're glad to have you here today for today's show, and we apologize for the hiccups that we was having. And to answer his question here, I went out last night, to try to do a little bit of grub hubbing. We had a whole lot of torrential rain that was in the area, and we had some flooding in certain areas. I got out there and, you know, actually had damage to two of my umbrellas, got soaking wet, feet wet, shoes wet. I decided to go back to the house. I did one um, order, which was $8 for 3 miles. But other than that, it wasn't bad as if tornadic weather was concerned. But it was, we had to be cautious in certain areas we went. I heard a few trees did go down. I hadn't, went out throughout the whole city today. I went ahead and relaxed. But when you be told from God not to pursue what you were trying to do, I went ahead and went home. When I got that order, it wasn't that far from the house, you know, and it brought me within zero point 0.5 miles, excuse me, in the vicinity of coming back home. So I went ahead and came back home. Once I got home, I didn't feel that feeling anymore. Sometimes we ignore when we get that intervention from God. Some people don't believe in him. They got other religions that they believe in, but you get that intervention from the Holy Ghost, the Holy Spirit, and it guides and directs you in the right path if you listen. And it was a feeling that came across me. It wasn't a good feeling. And I've been in tornado weather dashing before, did it on this live stream. But yeah, as far as here, I hadn't heard of any families going through any casualties or nothing like that. So it pretty much smoothed out here because it turned into a depression and it's going to spread out. That's what that depression does. It's going to spread out because it was the eye of that storm coming in our path. But we did get a lot of rains and everything. I hadn't got a chance to get in touch with the other drivers and everything to find out what was going on, but it did affect the Wi-Fi and all of that, the internet service as well. But we're thankful that we're here today, and we thank everyone that is concerned. And we have a lot of drivers in communities that stuff be going on, like fires in certain areas, droughts in certain areas, tornadoes in certain areas, earthquakes in certain areas, and we do have delivery drivers and families that are in the situations. That's when we come up with the our report, weather report, and we be throwing them concerns and prayers for the families and drivers of those families. And hope we're gonna turn the floor back over to you for today's episode. We thank you for being vigilant on checking on everyone, tapping in on different channels, making sure that everybody was all right, including Bobby down in Louisiana. About time to get to Pedro. It should be just rain. They may have some winds there. So the floor is yours, my brother.
Okay, hold on. There's chatting in there.
Okay, while you're doing the chat right there, I want to thank everyone that came to the show today. And as we talking about what you see on the topic, Wendy's weighing my food delivery with a smart scale. We did a part one, and this and a part two, and now this is a part three. How will it change the industry as far as us as delivery drivers, food being weighed? We had the Chipotle situation, the shrinkflation, the skimping of food. They changing out the portions of food, trading out and doubling up on beans versus putting the meat there, or doubling up on rice versus putting a portion of the beef that's supposed to go with these sandwiches or entrees, or like when you order in places like Taco Bell. They've been doing this for a while, ladies and gentlemen, and we talked about it among our community, customers, restaurant operators, delivery drivers, content creators in our area, and we all talked about how much that Captain D's cost 10 years ago, right, or 5 years ago, on a family meal, which was only $19.99. You go there now, it's right at $30, and the second upgrade one is like 37, which push it into $43 and more. So yes, George, I believe you are ready now. So we're gonna go ahead and let you move forward with today's episode.
Well, once again, good afternoon, everybody, and hope everybody with these areas that we was discussing earlier are safe. Bobby was talking yesterday, and that's a good thing. He was talking through the chat on a few different channels or so. So there was an update with that with Bobby, and I'm glad things working out for him and his family. Like I said, over there in California, there's some stuff going on, and there's something evil that went over there that happened that made some lion fires. Um, it's a person who actually started the fire, and they captured him.
Mm-hmm.
So he's going to be going to trial. He actually deliberately started these fires, and he did other fires.
Mm-hmm.
Um, this is something that's really bad. It wasn't a natural thing because South Carolina local station is talking about it. That's how bad it is over there. It's over 50,000 acres of land has been destroyed, and it's close to areas that we have content creators at.
Right.
That is in this. That's in this community that they are being aware of and stuff. We all know some of the content creators that are there. I don't want to name everybody because I don't know everybody, but I don't want to leave nobody out. That's why I just said it like that, so I won't miss anybody because I know there's more than just the ones I might know.
Right.
So, and then the people we don't know, we're just hoping because there was houses that was lost and stuff. This person deliberately did that. You see, a lot of this stuff that we do on this gay community, YouTube, there's somebody who's maliciously out there trying to hurt people. There wasn't no accident, like left the campfire on, didn't put it out right and stuff. You know how Smokey Bear said it, only you could prevent firefighters, only you. That's a
Mm-hmm.
Smokey Bear thing. This
Mm-hmm.
person deliberately started the fire, and then they found out that the other fires around the area, he started those too. So it's on the news and stuff. You could go on with it. It is in California. It's close to, like I said, some of the main content creators that I do know. You know, I know there's others I probably don't know, so I don't want to miss them out. And there's the other people's families that people. Mostly it was the brushes and stuff, but there are some houses that got destroyed, and then there was people who had to evacuate and stuff because of the smoke and all that, things like that, the ashes and all that stuff. So you know, just follow the news on that. You know, and let's pray for all our fellow drivers in this community that they're really safe and their families.
Right.
Now, now I'm gonna go with your question there. You know, I went back to my favorite Wendy's, and I got some more information.
Okay.
Okay, the video that you have with that lady, she said that they use the smart scale from Doordash to do Uber Eats. Well, that is correct, but she didn't explain why. Okay, when I went to my Wendy's, I talked to my favorite manager there, the top one. She explained that the reason why they're doing it because they are doing it for all takeout,
Okay.
for portion control. DoorDash is monitoring them because they put that extra step for them because they partnership with DoorDash. But they
Right.
are doing it with all takeout because corporate is monitoring them because of what happened with Chipotle. They said because what happened to Chipotle, that's why corporate of Wendy's is doing it to all takeout food.
Right.
So the lady didn't explain that part, but she was correct that the Uber, but she didn't explain why they do it. She probably didn't ask the right questions. I don't know. She didn't explain that part of the video. But I read
Mm-hmm.
deep and stuff. I'm gonna continue to talk about this. You know, I'm gonna get some more information, but we
Right.
all gather more
Right.
um, information. So you're gonna probably, if you go to the Wendy's, you're gonna probably see scales popping up. If they ain't already, they're gonna be popping up a lot of them. The corporate wants it for portion control. It's covering the company's butt. Because once it
Right.
comes out from the company to the driver, the hands is washed with it because the scale is the thing that they're telling them. They're using the scale for all of it
Right.
because that scale is their documentation. So as
Mm-hmm.
long as they are seeing documentation, the numbers don't lie. That means it's not their fault. They said it's the driver's fault. Sorry to say that. It's the driver's fault. That's what they're gonna say now. That's what they're gonna say. So us drivers gonna have to be diligent to know that they're gonna throw it on the driver because they gave it to us the right portion. Now, if it goes to the customer and they say they're missing stuff, they're gonna say it's the driver's fault. Mm, it'd be a scapegoat again. It's another lie. I'm not saying that there's not good drivers out there. There are. There's a lot of bad drivers too, and then there's also a lot of bad customers too. They're just gonna say it. But now they got something to say in writing because they got documentation. That's why they're doing all takeout. The reason why they're not gonna do dine in, I asked that question too, because if you dine it in, they're gonna say they're missing an item that's not gonna be a portion. It's a portion control, but they're missing fries or something. They're just gonna give them a thing of fries, or you know, any whatever, a burger or whatever, or the burger's not right. You know, they didn't put cheese on it and they're supposed to or something. They dine it in, so they're not gonna scale that because they are dining in.
Right. Right.
Takeout food, that means anything. That means if you yourself goes in there and order, they're gonna pay it because it's being takeout. Online
Right.
orders, takeout, drive through, that's also takeout. Everything that's gonna say to takeout, they're gonna do it to cover their
Okay.
butt. Then it's gonna be the driver's fault.
All right.
Okay, go ahead, brother.
Okay. Yeah, I would like to share that video. I believe that's it right here. I'm getting ready to pull up. I'm gonna have to go ahead. Let's see. Do we have it so we can hear it? This is it right here. So I'm gonna go ahead and play some of that video. First, I'm gonna turn up the volume on it, and we'll try to skip through the ad if it happened to come on.
It apparently gives her the all clear prompt, and she hands me the order. Of course, I had to ask, and that's exactly what happened today. I was like, "Excuse me, did you just weigh that?" She was like, "Yeah, we have to weigh the food now before we hand it over." And I'm assuming that's not just for drivers. I'm assuming that's for any takeout order. Any order they're handing, I would think any order they're handing out to a customer. So the next time I go into Wendy's to pick up an order, I'm going to ask, do you weigh the trays with the food on it before you hand it to a customer who's eating in store? Because this one in Merrick, they have a great lunch. There's always people in there. I wonder if they do that too with the in-store customers. So that's going to be a good question to ask. I just didn't think of that at the moment. I was just can I take a picture? Do you mind? Wow. Are you serious? When did this come out? She was just like, it just a couple of days ago. I'm like, oh my goodness. Because I was at Wendy's less than a week ago. They didn't have a scale. Now I wonder, are all fast food restaurants going to utilize a scale like this before they hand over food to a food delivery driver or a customer or regular takeout,
All right, ladies and gentlemen, right there, that's what we wanted to do. We wanted to share that information with you, which was valid information. She did a good storyline on this here, and we appreciate for what she had done. And let me see, can I back out of there, go up and go right there. No, not right here. Go back there, right there. All right, now I'm finna get ready to go back to the solo screen, and we're gonna let Hulk elaborate on it. So everything that he has said, she has said, is all verifying what's happening in these up and coming weeks, up and coming months, how this is going to change the fast food industry on how they do deliveries on takeouts. So let me go ahead and go back to the dual screen right quick. And Huck, would you elaborate a little bit more on this? Because what she has seen, you have seen, and what she has said, you pretty much has said too. And you just went in a little bit more depth on the inside for your investigation studies and all of that. People was worried about the ad that came on her channel. Like I said, that all is in perspective with her channel. We can't control the ads on her channel. So, but we will do what we can to do to try to probably clip that part out. But other than that, we got it up under copyright disclaimers, and some people may not know what that means. A lot of new things YouTube is doing. I will be addressing it in the up and coming episodes when content creators, before you go live, you're going to see that message that I saw. You see what I'm saying? And it talks about all of them categories about company guidelines and stuff, our behavior, the type of language that we speak on these shows and everything can be offensive to somebody else. It can be offensive to your viewer. Okay. So they moving forward with that. So we need to be mindful of how we actually do content. Is still a word about trying to cherry pick people that do information, right? And sometimes certain things be off in the clip, but I will be trying to see, can I edit that portion out? There will be no problem there, but let's be more mindful on the new update that definitely says that you got to put in them categories what your content is about before you publish your content. All right, Huck, the floor is yours again. And would you please elaborate more on this powerful information, intriguing information that will change the fast food industry, how they do delivery and take out orders?
Okay, you don't have to do solo. It's fine. Right. It is. Okay. I'm just gonna do the statement that TFT wrote. I'm gonna read it out. You can highlight it if you want. It's S1.
It's already
Uh,
highlighted.
okay, that's it. Okay, numbers on a scale can be altered, but adding more of one less of the other. I agree. I said yes, but we can't control that part because we can't touch their scales. They're not gonna let us go behind the counter. We're not the police of them. We can't police them that well. We're only there to visually see them put that thing on the scale, and where they're
Right.
gonna have the scale, you probably won't be able to see how I got I had the picture. If you saw the video before this one, it showed the actual picture of the scale and up close. Now, if you got good PR with some of these things and you could go behind the counter, that's fine. Do it. But they ain't gonna have the scale where you can see it and touch it. They're gonna have it where they can only touch it because it's just for them. It's just for them. It's not for us, really. It's just for them. DoorDash just made that step in there, and I'm still working to see if everybody's getting that update or there's certain people. I'm still looking on that, so I'm gonna be getting that information. But DoorDash so far is the only one that's actually pushing the issue for DoorDash side. When I talked to my manager, after Wendy's here, she didn't say Uber Eats and Grubhub was pushing the issue. She said corporate of Wendy's is pushing the issue for portion control. And she said because of the Chipotle. She said because of the Chipotle incident, they're taking it upon themselves to do it. DoorDash gave them a scale, so they're just going to use the scale and put it in. It's just going to go to them. It just sends it to them. Sends it to DoorDash, whatever, but it sends it to corporate. That's all they care about. So we won't be able to do that. We won't be able to. We can't control if they're gonna add or tweak the scale. We can't do that. We can't touch the scale. They won't let us touch the scale. It's just the same way they won't let us make the drinks. I mean, in the back, if they had the drinks in the back of the thing, gonna make the food ourselves. They gonna make us do that. So they gonna make us go behind and do the scale. So it's the same kind of concept on that. Um, And the other part is that, like I said, she didn't explain why in her video. She just said that they just said that they doing it. But she probably didn't know her next question, maybe. But the other thing they said is, are we just doing it for all? That's what they
Right.
answered. They gave an answer, but they didn't say why.
Right.
My manager said why because of portion control. They are covering their butt. So now, once it leaves their store into our hands, and we hit that confirm pickup, it's a wrap.
Right.
It's a wrap.
And, right. And this is what I see about it. And we trying to clear the air for everyone. We don't want people to start spreading rumors, spreading false information, and then direct people to this channel. Said this is where we heard it from first. Okay, get your facts straight. Don't just pocket watch. Watch this whole video, get the whole concept. If you have questions, ask those questions in here. If we able to answer them, we will. If not, we will let you know that as well. See what's happening, ladies and gentlemen. Just like I said in the early part of the video, you as a customer as well. I'm a customer as well. We got to eat, so we order from some of these places. You see, and this been going on for a while. They done changed the prices of the menu. The prices are higher. The prices of food is higher in the grocery stores. They price gouging. There are restaurants that's price gouging, and some restaurants they don't have a choice but to go up in prices because of the expense of them getting food wholesale have went up as well. So that's more towards the restaurant, the smart scale, because they are the first people that touches the food. They preparing the food. They cooking the food, right? They got to make sure that they doing what they supposed to do by the Food and Drug Administration behind the scene. And also, with the restaurants, organization, they're making sure that they doing what they need to do. So when they handling that food safe back there, and that we receiving it under safe environment with the packaging. Now they got to weigh the portions because there's been a big complaint about it. I done went as a customer and then went to certain restaurants. Notice what happened to the meat. Okay, they put more beans in than meat. Double the portions of the beans than meat. So you're not getting that much meat. So you're not paying for each portion that goes off into that menu or that recipe that they fixing. Just like a burrito, for instance, or just like a taco, for instance. They got to put the right portion of cheese in, the right portion of sauce, the right portion of vegetables that goes on it, the right portion of protein that goes on it, which is meat. So a lot of them is cheating the system, giving you less meat, more of the other items, and customers paying for this. Now, these platforms not cheap, ladies and gentlemen, when you're ordering off the platform. Not only that, when you go in to do your own takeout, you go in to pick up, and then you realize, man, what happened to this portion on this menu that I ordered? I ordered a 2-piece fish dinner. I only got 1 piece, and they cut it up in strips. You see, that's what we're talking about, ladies and gentlemen, on this show here. So this right here will not eliminate. It will reduce some of the complaints that consumers have out here. When you paying your hard-earned money, you want to get what you pay for. And we got Keen Explicit in here today. Glad to see you here today, brother. He said, hey, Rev and Huck, I'm here listening and working as always. Hope all is well. Yes, sir, everything is well, and I hope everything is well with you in your area since we had the little storm that come through and everything. I'm glad to hear that you okay and everything is well with you and you and yours, your family and everything. So that's the thing that's important, ladies and gentlemen. Don't blow this out of proportion, and then it gets out here to TikTok, or it gets out here to the Daily Dot. You know what I'm saying? It gets to other platforms and everything. News channels gets the coverage, and everybody point their fingers towards this channel. Taking our narrative out of context, saying this is where we got the information from. When they get the information from this channel, they're gonna see that it wasn't what y'all said it was, because they made sure to let you know these things are not happening. The scale, we don't have to worry about the scale. You will get a notification. George showed that in the first video. Go look at that first bit. Matter of fact, let me do this right here right quick so we can find that information for you. Okay, let's do this here. Hold on. Let's see. Okay. That's the video right there I'm talking about. Let me blow it up on the screen so you'll know where to find this information from. Okay. Right here, ladies and gentlemen, let me move to the side a little bit. I got these bright lights on, so it might be too much lighting. But right here, we talk about it right here. Let me bounce back off of it and bounce back on it so you can see what I'm talking about. All right, that's it right there, ladies and gentlemen. Let me move on a little bit so you can really see it. That's it right there. It's got the thumbnail on it. Talk about Wendy's Doordash new update. Okay, that was part 2. We talked about it before then, which was part 1. This is the part 2 video where you can get that information from. The Doordash Smart Scale, the future of fast food delivery. And this is part 3 to this episode here. Let me go ahead and get back off the screen and let George continue on explaining his experience, because what she did, she just gave an experience. She gave an experience, so she didn't actually do an investigation to get more detail. She just gave her experience. There's nothing wrong with what she did. She gave her experience, shared her experience of what she went through when she went to the restaurants, or the drivers went to the restaurants, and the experience of what people were saying in the Reddit groups where all your gossip and rumors come from. See, so we're trying to alleviate all of the false narratives that may be played off of this channel here, and also the gossip that's going on out here. That's the reason why we call this Take It to the Streets live show. We go out there real time in the streets, show you what we experience and showing you what's going on. When this start rolling out to more and more markets, there's nothing to be panic about. There's nothing to worry about. Well, man, I'm not going to fool with it. Boo, 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 bam. Your choices is your choices. Your decision is your decisions. It depends on the money amount you're trying to make off a per order, how fast you want to make it. That decision is yours. We're not telling you how to run your business. You got to run your business. You got to pay your bills. You see what I'm saying? So what we did was give an awareness to a situation that more people will talk about it. Reason why a lot of people can't talk about it, it's not in their market yet. It's not even in my market. I done went out there and I done investigated and all that. No, it's not here. Okay, watch this video here. Watch what's happening in Columbia, South Carolina. Watch Home Base 101. Watch her. You can find out this information. When it comes in this area, you're already prepared for it. Yeah, go ahead, George.
Well, basically, you did the rest. You told about the logistics side, of what they do. Yeah, they don't want to lose money either. A lot of
Right.
people, they'll do an order. I went to a restaurant. Not gonna say the name of the restaurant. It's not really important to the name of the restaurant. But I went there, and when I got to the counter, I introduced myself and stuff like that. I said who I'm here for and everything. And it was a DoorDash order.
Mm-hmm.
The person told me behind the counter is, "Oh, that customer, we're not gonna make the food for that customer." So I politely asked, "Okay, what happened?"
Mm-hmm.
"Oh, this customer will order the food. See, this is why they do the portion control thing too and stuff because of this right here.
Right.
Also, um, the restaurant claimed this customer. I was the fifth DoorDash driver that come in there
Mm-hmm.
for that same order. They said that this customer will call, place the order, then it ships out to DoorDash. Driver to go and pick it up. DoorDash driver comes and they make the order and pick it up.
Mm-hmm.
Once the DoorDash driver picks it up, this is what I'm figuring happened is once the DoorDash driver picks it up and said, I got the order, the customer is over there watching and then goes and cancels the order. She said this person did it 4 other times. I'm the fifth person. So what I did was I said, okay, I'm gonna go call DoorDash support
Mm-hmm.
because I want to be at the restaurant to call. I went up to my car because they had a bunch of customers in here and I don't need them hearing everything. I went out to my car, so I'm right at the restaurant still. I called and talked to customer support.
Right.
Customer support was verified. They tried to call, they wouldn't answer the phone. So driver support. They then came back on the phone and did what they did and, got the thing off the screen. But I was explaining to them that they're not going to do this order for this one customer anymore because they said she's a fraud.
Right.
So I explained that to them. So I don't know if DoorDash is going to 8-ball her from the platform or not, or investigate her, or what. Maybe make her have a pen. That they could do that too because DoorDash does the pen as well as
Right.
Uber Eats do. So I don't know what DoorDash is going to do with that situation, but the point is of the whole thing now is that customer is saying that they didn't get the food. So with the smart scale for the restaurants, point to give them an ease, if they put it on the scale and weigh it, it goes to the restaurant. I mean, the restaurant home base and DoorDash.
Mm-hmm.
If it goes to this restaurant, I'm not saying it did. I'm just saying if it goes to this restaurant,
Right.
that's paper trail right there. And then when it gives to the driver, if that customer does it, then they have more legit because they got a paper trail.
Right.
See, if you have a paper trail, it's easy for them to fight something and show the receipts when they need to. And then that way they could stop with losing product and losing money, because every time they had to make that food over for another driver,
Mm-hmm.
that was money being lost from the restaurant,
Right.
not the driver, not the customer.
Right.
They also were saying to me, saying that, oh, the driver just didn't give them their food. That's what the restaurant was saying. I didn't argue with them because I'm not going to get into a back and forth with them. I just needed some information. So I picked out what I needed so I could talk to Doordash, so then they could do their thing, and then I could get another order, because me sitting there is not going to give me no money sitting there arguing with the restaurant.
Right.
So I let them say what they said and everything, and I did what I did. I got paid for that order. It didn't mess up my acceptance rate. It didn't mess up my completion rate either, because they knew, and they tried to contact the restaurant. They knew on the pin GPS where I was at. I was at the store, at the restaurant, so I was at the right place. So that covered me, and that's how I didn't get pinged on nothing. And it's documented, so nobody can say anything. And I even did a step further. I even text I even texted the customer to say, okay, I have a problem. I'm trying to figure it out. They were saying, and I explained to them that the restaurant is having a problem, saying that they're not going to make your food, because they're saying that I'm the fifth person. I told the customer the truth. I didn't lie. The restaurants feel that you had four other drivers come, and then you cancel the order. I just told the customer that, just like that. And then I'm the fifth driver, and they're not going to make the food for me. So I'm trying to see what's going on. And before the thing was cleared, I texted the customer and explained to him that they're going to cancel the order and everything, and you're going to get your refund back. That's what I said to the customer. You're going to get your refund back. And I went on my way, and that was it. So that scale could help in that situation, though, because you see, if they scale it and then you said confirm pickup on your end, then that way the restaurant has that paper trail for them to back up, and they could look at to see, okay, where are we losing money at? Are we losing it on our end, or are we losing it on the delivery side end? Now, if you go in there and pick up, I just thought something. If you go in there and pick up your own food, if it's your own food, you can open up the bag and everything yourself and see if stuff is in there. You know, when you go to a drive-through, I never leave my drive-through. If I open up the bag or give it to my wife, and she opens up the bag and makes sure everything's in there. So you can do that if it's your own food. So that right there, you can see if even if they weigh it, you won't know the weight of the food, but you can see if there's stuff missing, because it's your own food. That means you can open in your own bag and see. So that way right there, if you do that before you leave the restaurant, then that way they can say, okay, you just didn't take it out and come back and say you took it out, because then they can say, oh, we saw you leave the restaurant. Now you're gonna come back in and say, oh, you didn't have no fries. I call cap on that, and then you gonna go back and forth with the restaurant. So you do it right there in the restaurant. They can't call cap on you because you open up the bag in front of them, because it's your food.
All right. I
See,
got a
we as
question for you.
drivers, go ahead.
Yeah. Reese got a question in the comment there. I got it in the highlight right there. Q1. You can go ahead and address that question right there. He asked the question there. Any concerns for us drivers about this by delay in orders and companies not obliging?
Okay. A lot of times when I went there so far, a lot of times when they had the food, I saw it on the scale, or if it wasn't on the scale, it was where they put it to give it to you. And if you have that, like I said, if you had the notification, I would ask them. If you don't have the notification, don't I won't even really worry about it, because they might not have to do it at that restaurant. You don't know which restaurants do it. The app will tell you which restaurants to do it. That's what I'm trying to get at. So if they're real busy, I would
Uh-huh.
think it will be a delay because now they got to watch the portions more carefully. So I would believe it would be more of a delay because if it's a takeout order like the Wendy's, I'm gonna go with Wendy's because I know Wendy's does it all. Wendy's, any takeout from Wendy's that I go to my market, they're gonna do all the way, so it's gonna be a delay. So if somebody ordered a big order and stuff like that, they gotta carefully make sure that order is properly weighed. So it's gonna be a delay on that. So yes, it's gonna be a delay, especially if it's real busy. I think it's gonna be a delay in that because now the other part of this question was in orders or companies in obligating. That's what it means.
I don't see it
Obliging,
on here.
obliging.
Obliging. Let me put it back up here so we can see it again. Cause
I
I
got it. I
also,
got it. Any
you got it.
concern for subscribers about this may delays in orders or companies not obliging. Um, that the obliging part, it depends on the company. I'm not sure on that question, but my Wendy's that I go to, they're obliging by the scale thing. It's just going to be automatic with the scale thing. If that's what you're saying with the scale thing, they are obliging by that technique for the portion control. But I can't talk for other restaurants because I haven't seen it in other restaurants yet. The scale.
I I would like to add something to it when you get through. Go ahead.
So that's a question that I'm gonna keep in my mind and see other restaurants and try to see if I can see a scale that looks like a scale similar to the one I see at Wendy's. So that one right there, I'm not sure of the Verizon part for other companies. Well, yeah, I'm just gonna leave it like that for me because I don't want to say something and I'm not sure. I'm just gonna say I'm not sure for other companies. I just know my Wendy's is gonna oblige by it, and that's what they're doing now, and they don't have no problem with it. So they pretty used to it now. Now it's second nature for them.
All
Go
right,
ahead.
I'm gonna add a little something with it. See, what we gotta understand is it's gonna be rolled out first to restaurants that are DoorDash partners. Okay, this is rolled out to Wendy's. They are DoorDash partners in certain markets. It's being rolled out for them. So they gotta abide by these regulations now to the point to where we're not just gonna weigh DoorDash orders. We're gonna weigh all takeout orders. When a customer come to get their order through the drive-through, okay, when a customer order online, when a customer do a self-delivery on these platforms, they come to pick up their own delivery, as well as being drivers coming to pick up these orders. We're going to weigh these orders. We're going to weigh the Uber Eats orders. We're going to weigh the Grubhub orders. We weighing all takeout orders. That was a discretion coming from their corporate office after this was implemented in. They're not just doing DoorDash only. So yes, they got to oblige by it. If they definitely is a DoorDash partner and got partnership with DoorDash. Some restaurants, DoorDash don't say, well, that restaurant is a partner. Wendy's is a partner of DoorDash. When I talked about in the news journal of last year in DoorDash articles, we was talking about those restaurants that has a partnership with DoorDash. What they trying to do is minimize the problem that we having with shrinkflation, with orders getting stolen, however they being stolen by. You can say merchants are guilty of it, drivers are guilty of it, customers that's ordering on the platform is guilty of it. And not only that, I have seen in-house customers at Old Charlie's a year ago, and they already ate their food, family food, and then dude will go right on their shelf there, walk out with a DoorDash customer order, saying, this is what they give us extra because we already paid for it. No, you just stole somebody's order. I seen that with my own eyes. So they trying to do the best that they can as far as that is concerned. So yes, there will be some delays. We have shift changes. These restaurants have shift changes where day shift come in and night shift come in. There is usually an hour gap at higher end restaurants, such as Firebird and everything. I'm just sharing my experience. I use that restaurant for example. Drivers here can also tell you that. We also have Keen Explicit. He said that I'm at Wendy's as we speak, and I asked someone about the scale, and they clueless, and I know that it's coming here soon. Yes, they don't know anything about it. I asked them too in a few other restaurants. They don't know anything about it. That's the reason why I told them about the show. If you go out there, you ask them about it. If you get a chance to talk to the managers on that shift, let them know about this channel. Let them know about the information that this may be coming in a market near them, so they can be aware of it, so they can understand what's going on. We got some new comments in here as well. And Huck, if you want to also address those comments, you can go ahead right now, sir.
I dare. Can you put up his statement, Robert Reese's statement? S1.
I got you.
Yeah. Okay. He asked, I guess we will have to wait and see about contract violations about the delays to the customer. Now, highlight my statement after my answer to him, right after him, so you can see it on the screen.
Yeah.
Can
okay. You want me to
highlight?
highlight it? There you go, right there.
Okay. Yeah. I said we can keep the customer up to date with their order by communicate with them via text at Robert Reese. What basically meaning like when you are in a restaurant before the scale stuff, don't think about the scale right now. Scale's not in play. When you're in a restaurant and it's real busy, they got the thing on Doordash. If you're just doing Doordash, that you go right there for the order and stuff, and boom, and it tells you the delay, right? And when it pops up the screen, what's going on? Store busy, drive through busy, order being prepared, ordered it and start until you arrive. You click those things and you hit, submit or whatever, right? You can also send a text to the customer and explain that we're going to be delayed such and such, and then that goes to the customer too. The other thing with this show the customer maybe on that scale for, okay, it's going to be a delay some time. They're going to be like, okay, now I got more time I got to wait. It said 10 minutes. Now I got 15 minutes now. Oh, man. But when you have that text message and you send it to them, oh, the store is busy due to blah, 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 blah. And you can send them a little screenshot because they have the thing. So you could, that screenshot, Photoshop, you can take a picture and send them to them there if you want. Try not to get a lot of people in there. Just try to take a, general picture. But if you don't even do the picture, just explain to them. If you explain to them, a lot of times the customers will like that. The customers I've been having, when I give them an update, they come back and say, well, thank you for the update. And then, because when I say something, I say, well, I'm sorry for that, for the delay. This has happened. Do you want to cancel? Then they'll come back, well, thank you for the update, but I'll wait.
You don't change your business practice. Business etiquette going to be the same. Your customer quality service going to be the same. Great professionalism going to be the same. Excellent communication. You're going to still address those things. We talking about shift change. I wanted to add that in the equation because a lot of people don't think about the shift change. And do you even know what hours the shift change happens? I do in my area. At certain restaurants, they have this shift change where it's going to be longer wait times. A lot of people don't want to wait. This is an extra step being put in the process, but it's going to run smoothly. But you're going to have your regular busy rush hours to where there's an avalanche of orders coming out, right? Okay, the restaurant is swamped. A few people might have not came in, called off. They shorthand of workers. So we have to understand these things that goes on behind the scenes. This is what we're doing. This is why we talking to restaurant operators behind the scenes, customers behind the scenes. And we can't get everybody to come on this show because some people not wanting to be on, which means they're reluctant to come on, but they still give our information and we pass that information to you. But there's a whole lot of variables and a whole lot of scenarios that goes on behind the scenes. When we are able to go behind the scenes and ask some of these questions that comes into play, comes into mind, we will bring them to you. With the contract violations and everything, DoorDash already knowing that we at the restaurant a certain amount of time. So the practices of having that business etiquette practice, we don't change from that. We don't steer away from that. We reach out to the customers. We give them updates. Anytime we have hiccups, we got to go to driver support teams. So we still do what we do under those things. That don't change. You see what I'm saying? Now, as far as drivers want to get in and out, there are times you're not going to be able to get in and out. The scale didn't change all of that. We already have that going on. So you keep business going as usual. You know what I'm saying? And then if you do have hiccups on an order or whatever, you get in touch with driver support or whatever. And if you stay in there longer than you want to stay, you just unassign the order. Just unassign the order. Simple as that. Go ahead, Hope.
Well, that was it. Basically, I was just saying, keep doing how you would do. Just think the scale wasn't there. That's why I said, just don't think the scale's there right now. And just do how you would do when you are waiting for orders and something comes up. You communicate with the customers and stuff. So you basically were saying, you shouldn't change how you do your business just because of the scale. Be aware of the scale. That's going to add on to delays.
Right.
Because now they got to portion the food. And once again, portioning food and everything means all the condiments, all the napkins and all that stuff. All that stuff's got to be in the bag. They have to have the drinks and everything on the scale too. Everything's got to be on the scale to be weighed one time. They can't do it separate. See, I found that out too. Everything's got to be on the scale one time. They can't do it separately. They can't have the drinks on there, then take the drinks off, and then put the bag on there. They have to have the bag and the drinks. People will say, well, what if they have more than one? They're going to have to do the drinks, somehow get the drinks on there, If you got the drink holder, you got 4 there, and you got 1 there, you can balance it up somehow, put the other drink, balance it somehow, put a few drinks in there. You can actually fit 5 drinks in one holder because one's in the middle. So then that could be your base, and then the other ones could go on top. They're going to have to figure out because they had to put it all on their scale.
Right. We're just sharing with you on our investigation of our experience of what we have seen. We can't tell it to you from the corporate perspective. We can't tell it to you from DoorDash perspective or the company. We would have to have someone to be able to do the interviews from both sides and have those representatives be able to come on here and answer our much needed questions that we have on the deal. We talking in the mix with them. They're giving us the information as possible because you got to go through a proper protocol. You want to make sure no one get fired when you got them on your show, and you got to get permission for a lot of these things. And we didn't get that far in depth with moving forward with it. We talking, behind the scenes. This is the information we able to give to you right now. Neither one of us work for Wendy's. Neither one of us work for the DoorDash Corporation. That's another deal right there. But if they happen to see the videos and may want to go on somebody's channel to where they may want to talk more about this, then they welcome to do it. They welcome to do it here. You see what I'm saying? We just trying to get this is what we mean by bridging the gap in the community. Where when you give people information to where they are aware of what's going on. I'm paying for my food. What is the process of paying for my food? They're beginning to see some of these things. We can't go back there in the kitchen and film them start when the order come in and they flipping burgers and all that. We're not allowed back there, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, we're not allowed back there. We only can do as much as we can do as content creators. Now, business corporations who are owners of their own franchise, mom and pop, establishment, want to feel free that I want to be interviewed. I want to tell them a little bit more about what's going on so they can understand the process with this scale and and we weighing portions of food and all of that to where they can explain it from their end. That is more information that will give awareness before us. So we just giving it to you from where we have experienced it, right? And where the investigation that we were able to go on our part, which Hook did a good job in. He asked the questions. They didn't mind, giving them the information. You see what I'm saying? But as far as other questions you may want to ask that need to be asked to the corporate office of Wendy's or Doordash Corporation, then we got to tap into that arena there. And we have not tapped into that arena. But at least we did leave down a foundation where it don't be a whole lot of rumor control, assuming things and all of this. Yes, us drivers got a lot of questions. Yes, us customers got a lot of questions that we want to ask people. We want to ask the right people these questions because right now, how is it going to affect, just like he said, the contract violations, being extremely late and all of that? See, we don't want drivers to go into a panic frenzy about this here. Run your business as usual. You're a top dasher or you're a platinum driver or you're a diamond driver on these different platforms. You giving your best business practices. That don't change anything. That don't change anything. We want everyone to understand that this is happening. Don't even panic. It's going to be business as usual. You know what I'm saying? But there are times when the shifts change. There be order delays. Okay. There be where we can't give the driver their order right then. There's longer wait times, and the shift change. Cause you got one shift that may be ending and your orders then came in, but they was like, no, I got to get off the clock. We're not getting overtime. We got to put a pause on this stuff right now. And then, especially on Fridays, and then you got people just flooding the restaurants. So then people calling in talking about, well, I can't come in. I got an emergency and stuff. These restaurant operators now are shorthanded on employees. We have to understand that. I had a good conversation with some at Captain D's, and he said, man, it's hot in this kitchen, man. So hopefully one day we can be able to get some of them to be able to talk to you. But we don't want them to get into a position where they get fired on the job because they came on a social media platform as well. You feel what I'm saying? So there's a lot of protocol procedures we got to go by, get permission. So if we don't get them permissions, we can't go behind them closed doors. We only can tell you what we experience and what we're able to show you on this channel. Anything else you want to elaborate on this? Because I know I got to get out of here and get in them streets now. And I know you got to get to your place too, George. So go ahead. And if you want to do a wrap up on the summary of it and then your last final thoughts on this and everything, once again, you've done a great service to our community and going ahead and going behind the scenes, getting the information that you did give so we can give value for our viewers today.
Okay. Go to question 2 and highlight that.
I got to do it. Let me do it here.
Yeah.
Because I mess with my tablet at the same time and it won't let me go any further here. Okay, hold on. There we go. I see your comment. A good question. Where's question? There it is. I got it now. Bam. There it is right there.
All right, cool. Now I'm going to read it. Question 2, Robert was asking, Q2, do you think this is a sign of EBT coming every market to help drivers with extra time on deliveries? I wrote back to him and said, good question. That can be a strong possibility. But I also wrote on that also is DoorDash representative will be the best to answer about EBT situation. The reason why I'm not sure of everybody, a lot of places are over the EBT. Are they going to take out the EPO? That's probably what he's trying to ask. And just have EBT. That's something that DoorDash representative might be the best person to ask that question to because they would know more behind the scenes on that. So I don't want to give somebody the wrong thing. I said it's a good question. That could be a possibility. That's what I said. It's written down
Look
there.
like
So,
one, two,
but
one, two.
but
I'm
I'm
still
not the
reading. Go ahead.
yeah. But I did not say that they are. I was saying that if you could get somebody from DoorDash for that question, that would be a good question to ask DoorDash because you see they the one that won that platform. So if they're gonna get rid of EPO, let's have everybody EBT except for the areas like California that has Part 22, and then certain other areas that have their money how they have it, like Seattle, New York, and stuff. Then but DoorDash is the one for that question to be asked because I'm not sure. That's like over my head. I don't work for DoorDash
Right,
in that kind
right,
of place.
right. I can
So
give it. I can give it an opinion. My opinion is that as I've seen it right now, as we see it right now, you got four different markets that's under a different type of tier system. They don't have EBT there, due to they have their Prop 22. Seattle got a different version of the tier program. California got a different program as well. New York got a different program, and it's one more. I can't remember which one it is. So, like he said, those questions right now, we're not able to ask them, but it's a good thing for us to try to go see can we find out from the right resources and everything. Will it be rolled out to every market? I know it'll be rolled out to the markets that's not under Prop 22. That's my opinion now. And we're not the experts behind the scenes. We don't make the decision at DoorDash Corporation. So yes, that was a good question indeed, and that was a good answer that we can only provide right now. But there's something that if any platform feel they can get that access, that had in the past had interviews with the corporate office and corporate officials at DoorDash Corporation, and they actually got inside behind the scenes. Maybe we need to reach out to them platforms that have that access to the DoorDash Corporation, like the rideshare guy, for instance. Go ahead, Hulk Smash.
mm. Well, that was
Is
it.
there anything else?
Basically, no, basically, we recapped. We got more insight on why Wendy's is doing the scale for everything because they want to
Right,
do a portion control. It also helps them with the shrinkage and stuff. Plus, it'll help them for like the customer. It's a different restaurant, but I'm sure a customer will say that restaurant they didn't get the food or something was missing. So
right,
it stops that part from the restaurant getting the first hit. Then now it's gonna be us drivers. I'm not trying to say that it's gonna stop the customer from saying that, but with the restaurant part, because of the thing that happened in Chipotle, and it's all the restaurants that did it as well. But the Chipotle one is the big thing that's spotlight, so that's why I just keep saying Chipotle. So since the Chipotle incident, now the restaurants will be, or a lot of restaurants are probably looking into the same thing as Wendy's is. I know Wendy's is doing it because I'm with Wendy's. So Wendy's just want to make sure that they're doing everything they can to bring that food to the customer, even if it switches hands from them to the driver or third party to the customer. It needs when it leaves that restaurant, they know they did everything they can. They had everything in there they're supposed to have in there for that order. So then it's up to the driver to bring it to the customer the same way that they gave it to us. So other than that, that's my
right,
my,
right.
my, my, my wrap up on the whole thing is because and when people go to ask these restaurants, but I was like you can if you want, but like King Zilla said, he did ask, but they didn't know nothing about it because it's probably not in the market yet. You know,
It's
they're
not.
gonna throw
It's
things in
not.
certain.
It's
They're
not
gonna,
in our
yeah,
market.
yeah. So they're gonna throw things in certain markets and stuff. You can ask them everything. You know, that's cool. But you know, just be mindful though when you ask some of these restaurants certain things. You know, because try to figure out the mood of the restaurant when you're in there. If the mood of the restaurant is really like they just want to just get stuff done, you might not want to go and ask them questions, especially when the app didn't tell you. See, that's the one way right there. Make sure the app tells you too. You know, that's why I was just saying too. You know, you can because of your curiosity because this came up, but you know,
Good
like
point.
with the app, if it's in your market and you update the app and you don't see some of the updates until you actually use the app and certain things come up. So when I updated my app, that's
Correct.
what came up after I said arrive at the store. It didn't
Mm-hmm.
say look to make sure I had a drink and blah blah blah. It said ring. That's why I gave you that picture so you use that as a thumbnail. That's exactly what the next
Right.
screen said. That's instructions from the app from Doordash.
Mm-hmm.
So when you hit each thing, they give you instructions, and that's the instruction that they gave me for that restaurant, Wendy's. So right there is like the first indication too. So you know, if something weird comes on your phone, you know, take a screenshot before you clear it to the next screen. If you didn't see it before, take a screenshot so that at least you have it as a backup thing, and then you could go on and keep going on with your order. You know,
Right.
you could talk to the restaurant then. Say, hey, I got this on my screen here, such and such. Can you explain? You know, whatever. How you gonna talk to them? You know, everybody gonna talk to them different. So you know, at least you have something to look by. You know, that's what I was just saying. But always look at the mood and try to figure out the mood. You know, of the restaurant. Because if they really swamp and stuff, you might not want to ask them that unless it says it on the app. Just mind another word of advice. So that way, they won't. Nobody will jump on you. Why you ask some questions or whatever? It's none of your business. You know. I
Oh,
mean, because
yeah. Yeah. That's right.
yeah. But
I
other
want.
than
I
that,
want.
that's all. That's all. That's all I got to say about it.
I want to elaborate on what he said. You know, you want to make sure you got a good rapport with that restaurant, a good business relationship with the employees and management. And if you have that, you can be able to ask certain things. Once again, you got to see, is it busy? You got to see what mood people in. Is it have a bad day or a good day? Some people not morning people, okay, but they're on that morning shift. So there's a wrong time and a right time to approach merchants with this type of question. You know, some managers might not be friendly to drivers coming in. It might not be the right time. They might be doing the audit. They might have the corporate office there. You know, they just don't have time with you right now. And you don't want to keep pressing the people. You don't want to do that either. You got to think about if you was in a position like that, you know, of being a supervisor, and then when the corporate office comes, especially in the warehouse, they go into a frenzy. You know what I'm saying? They go into a frenzy, and that pressure be on them, a little bit of anxiety. That might not be the right time to talk about issues such as this. You make sure that it's a friendlier environment. You know, if they talking to you and you having that good, you know, conversation with them, you might can be able to bring it up then. You know, you don't want to go on there and they already in a rush hour situation. Staff is short. We get ready to go out, and people complaining and getting complaints and all of this, and their day not going right. That wouldn't be the right time to really, you know, talk to them. Let's use our common sense, people, and everything. Is there anything else you want to address in the live chat today? If not, we will be heading out of here because I got to get in them streets, you know, shake them trees, see what's out there.
Well, Brandon Recovery said, salute, Brother Webb. And then he said, come on. And then Brandon Recovery said a few dots. I wrote, hello, Brandon Recovery. Brandon Recovery just wrote, hello, Hulk Smash. That was the last thing right there. So I just was acknowledging somebody came into the chat. So I was just acknowledging that. Is there any
Have,
other questions? Any other questions that's in the chat that you might want before we leave? Um, and see if we can answer it. We'll wait maybe
if
a
not,
couple of minutes, but
if
then
not,
that'll be
point
it.
people in the right direction.
What's up, Tommy? I'm glad you're still here. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Oh, he was saying you were speaking on good facts. Well, thank you, Mr. Brandon. Brandon's recovery. I'll text you later, Hope. Okay. Thank you, Tommy. Okay.
And also, people that got more interaction with Hulk than they may have with me, because I done changed some things on my phone and stuff. If you still have questions, you can put them out there later, or you can put it in the comment section. And if you miss anything, you just came in late to the show, be sure to look at the replay and everything and look at it in detail. I'm going to try my best to see, can I put timestamps back in some of these live streams? That will have the information to where you can go right to that timestamp. Boom. Okay. You can look at it right there. You know, um, give us some of those questions in the comment section, once it go in the replay, and we can, probably take some of these questions and see, can we talk to, managers and such like this. We might not be able to have them for no interview because we understand the process that goes in behind it. We've done interviews with some people we haven't done interviews with because they decline. So we understand that, we want to make sure they still have their jobs, they still making their income as well, and not jeopardize nobody's way of making income. That's what we want to be able to do on this platform here. And I don't have anything else to say unless you have something else to say. If not, we getting ready to head out of here. And like I said, I got to hit some streets, but we will be doing more episodes, and trying to get an understanding so customers can get an understanding. Merchants can get an understanding. Drivers can get an understanding. We don't have all the right answers, but we may can be able to point you in the right directions. Like I said, we do have a community of certain content creators that had access to DoorDash Corporation. And that's maybe where we need to start with them, going behind the scenes, being able to ask these questions and have these answers to these questions to where we'll have a better insight on what's happening for the future of working these food delivery apps. Look like Hulk done froze. No, he there. We do that military
All right.
thing. We do that military thing.
I'm sorry. I was looking at the chat. Brandon just gave me a call. He's driving. He said he's driving because he put a car emoji thing, a car.
I appreciate it. I appreciate him stopping by. I appreciate him stopping by. I appreciate the questions that were asked, but there's more to it, and everything, we just have to do our own research, and how we present ourselves to people, how we communicate with people. Remember, keep them same business practices. Don't change them. Better business etiquette, quality customer service, which is the experience, right? Okay, professionalism, excellent professionalism, and great communication. And as long as we do that, we'll be all right. But there are hiccups along the way. There's a lot of different scenarios to where, sometimes it be very complicated and confusing for all of us, merchants, drivers, and customers, you see. So we must keep that in mind as well as we do our content on different channels when we address these issues and when there's a rumor controls and gossip out there among Reddit groups and Facebook groups. Let's see, can we find those answers to their concerns and everything as much as possible. We only can do so much, so we able to reach those areas to where we have access to be able to get those answers. We will. If not, we're going to tell you that we had to point you in the direction where someone may have that access. Let's go to their platform, put them questions in there, and ask would they do that for the community. Other than that, ladies and gentlemen, peace, take care, and we'll see you in the next video.